Wait. Hello, Bunny?
Hello, Papa.
What are you doing out there?
You told me, never play in the house with your razors.
Well, that makes sense. Even though it is a little dangerous, isn't it?
Ah, Papa! Ah, I'm afraid I'm gonna fall.
You're not going to fall. Just hang on. Don't look down. Listen to me. Did I ever tell you about the magic land that was so very far away? It was so very far away, you could never get to it even by carriage or boat or train. You had to fly there.
Papa!
Bunny, you're all right. Just don't look down. Listen to me. You had to fly to it in your house. But only if a wind came up, a big wind like a cyclone, could you fly to it. But you had to hang on really, really tight. And it happened to a little boy once, just like you. I'm all right. The little boy lived in a place where cyclones happened every year. His mama and papa, they were out when it happened. And the little boy was in the house taking a nap. And then the cyclone came and picked him and the house up and spun him around and around. And they finally landed in the magic land.
What?
Come here, sweetheart.
Go to your mother. Go to your mother.
I want to hear the rest of the story.
You see what happens when you leave your razors out where little hands can reach them?
I want to hear about the magic land.
You will. He's waiting for the rest of the story. I'm sorry about earlier. I was just so frightened.
Oh, no, Maud. My hands are still shaking. Maud. I can't wait to see this little one.
I've heard you make up stories for years now, but that one about the cyclone really sounded interesting.
Well, let's just say I was inspired.
I hope there's more to it. Frank Jr. will never forgive you if there isn't.
I know. Well, I'll come up with something.
Our second son was born on February 12th, 1886. We named him Robert Stanton. Soon after he was born, my mother came to stay with us a while. She was on a lecture tour for the suffragette movement.
Hold Robert, please.
Of course.
Frank Jr., Grandmother Gage needs silence.
Try not to do that, sweetheart.
Do more than try.
Come here, Bunny. Would you like to hear a story?
Yes, Papa.
All right. This is a story about a witch.
Do you think that's advisable just prior to bedtime?
Oh, you're thinking all witches are bad, Mother Gage.
Aren't they, Papa?
Not at all. You see, it all depends on what part of the magic land a witch comes from. If she comes from the east, well, then she's a very wicked witch and hates everybody. But if she comes from the north, she'd be extremely beautiful and kind. Everyone in the magic land couldn't help but love her for her wisdom and for her beauty. the children asleep? Mother Gage, too, I trust? Maud, it's not that I don't admire her beliefs, it's just
She
that...
does crowd the house a little, doesn't she?
I've been thinking about the letter your sister wrote to you.
Yes.
Well, I find it interesting that she says that the Dakota Territory is the place to be.
Oh?
That Aberdeen's growing so fast, it's going to be the Chicago of the Northwest in a few years.
Well, that's what they say.
Well, Maud, I've heard myself that men come there with very little money, and then they end up with fortunes, like your brother-in-law Charlie did.
Yes, but Charlie struggled for many years.
But, Maud, you know how much I hate working in that store?
I know,
We
Frank,
could
I
open
know.
our own store in Aberdeen, a big one, and I was thinking of maybe opening up a little printing shop or a newspaper, anything. Your sister says it's wide open for development.
But we have a home here, Frank.
But we can have a home there, too, Maud. A better one. I could make so much more money. Just think about it, will you, Maud? I know I can make a go of it and be a big success. Will you think about it?
All right, I will. I'll think about it.
What's that smell, Papa?
Ellen is looking so forward to having you all here.
Oh, I can't wait to see her, Charlie.
You're gonna love it here in Aberdeen, Frank. You're just gonna love it.
What have I done?
What, Papa?
Nothing, son. Nothing.
I can hardly believe my eyes. Wonderful. Thank you, Robert. Oh, Robert, I am so glad to see you. Oh, you are a beautiful little boy. Hello, Howard. Oh, no. Oh, Frank Jr., it's been so long and you're almost grown. I can't
Ellen.
believe it. Frank, hello, you must be exhausted from your trip. Come on in.
Come on in, come on in.
Side-based sandwiches and lemonade. Oh, yes, how small. Oh, thank you. Well, it's small, but we're comfortable. Oh, I gotta bring that here to you. It's okay. Frank Jr.?
Well, guess I'll get on back to lumberyard. Chief can't leave the tribe for too long, know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
See you at supper, Frank.
See ya.
Bye, honey.
I see you. Who are you? What's your name?
Dorothy.
Well, hello, Dorothy.
Soon after we arrived in Aberdeen, Frank borrowed money to create the most wondrous store the prairie had ever seen. He employed every able carpenter and craftsman in Aberdeen and the surrounding territories. Frank ordered porcelains from Europe and the finest silks from the Far East.
How are we doing, Mr. Harris?
Just fine, Mr. Baum. I'll have these shelves finished for you by this evening. Unless you want scalloped edges.
That would look better, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, sir, it would.
And scalloped edges it is.
I commence working on that come first light.
Thank you.
Looks like you got some company.
Bunny, how are you, Dorothy?
Fine, Uncle Frank.
Darling. Helen, isn't this going to look wonderful?
Oh, it certainly is.
Charlie says you've ordered 7 more crates of Bohemian glassware.
They're going to love it, Maud.
7 crates?
Frank Jr., Dorothy, be careful.
Frank, we have so much already. So much pottery and decorated tableware, Haviland and Carlsbad china.
It's going to sell, Maud, all of it. Believe me, people around here have never seen anything like it.
I believe that.
Don't worry, the bank will cover it. This store is going to be a huge success, trust me.
It's a castle and a princess lived in it. And a king.
Frank, this is beautiful.
Italian.
Over here.
Yes?
Mr. Baum? Mr. Baum? Down here, Mr. Baum. My name is Ned Brown.
Oh. Hello, Mr. Brown.
Oh, call me Ned.
What can I do for you, Ned?
Well, here's the story, Mr. Baum. I was traveling with Kelly's Circus. I fell ill here in Aberdeen, and they had to leave me behind. I've been doing odd jobs here and there, and thought maybe you could use some help.
I don't see why not, Ned. You ready to work right now?
I'm your man, Mr. Baum.
Fine. Ned, you are going to be a part of the biggest, most important store this territory has ever seen.
Only the best at Baum's Bazaar.
Uncle Frank, why does he have a crow on his shoulder? Shouldn't he be scaring it away?
He should, but he's not smart enough.
Scarecrows can be smart.
Well, they can if they have a brain.
Can a scarecrow have a brain?
Well, sure, son. But this one doesn't. You know why?
Why?
Well, come here, kid. I'll tell you. It's because the farmer never gave him one.
What farmer, Mr. Baum?
Hello, can I show you something today?
The little farmer in the magic land.
The magic land that you have to fly to in a house?
That's right, but that's another part of the story. The part I want to tell you is why the scarecrow has no brain. And why he couldn't scare the crows away. You see, when the farmer made the scarecrow's head, first he made a nose for it. Then he painted ears on the scarecrow's head, and as soon as he did that, the scarecrow could suddenly hear all the sounds of the farm. Then the farmer dipped his brush again into the magic paint, and he painted eyes on the scarecrow's head. And when he did that, the scarecrow opened them and looked right at the farmer. And then the scarecrow looked at everything else around him. He was very curious because this was his first glimpse of the magic land. Then the farmer painted a mouth on the scarecrow's head. And what do you think? You'd think he would talk. But he couldn't. He couldn't talk because he didn't know what a mouth was for. So he didn't say a word. The farmer propped the scarecrow upright in his cornfield, fixed his vest,